Hi, Chioma. How are you doing? Hi, everyone. How are you doing? Can you hear me? Am I audible? Please, can you let me know? Okay, thank you so much. And welcome to section 6. So, while we're waiting for others to join, um, you are the first and early streamers. So, feel free to ask questions regarding maybe your assessment or challenge you encountered or something you actually um, feel you need clarity on that you encountered during your assessment. So feel free to ask those questions. We are going to wait for others. We'll try to wait for others to join us so we don't leave anyone behind. So we're officially starting the class in 5 to 7 minutes time. So that time I will use that time to answer any questions. If in absence of any question, if you feel you don't have any question, just tell me no question in the comment section. Then I would give an announcement now and also later when we have more people in the house. Okay. Hi, Ruti. Welcome. Welcome everyone. Okay, Chioma, thank you so much. Chioma says she doesn't have any question. So while we're waiting for that, trying to set up my AWS account. I don't know if it's network or what. Okay, yay, I'm in. Okay, so we have Oba King said no. Um, Oba King, did you do the last assessment for the last class? With all honesty, specifically, I checked for your assessment. Hi Uche, hi everyone, welcome. Hi Ajoke. How did you find the last assessment? It was very easy, isn't it? Hi Ajoke, thank you. Welcome, love. How did you find your previous assessment? Oh, really? It's your assessment name also Oba King. But I was checking for your YouTube name, obviously. Hi, thank you. Good evening, welcome. Okay, thank you so much, Favor. Thank you. It was quite easy, isn't it? Okay, now while we're waiting for orders, mm, while we're waiting for orders, so what we'll be doing today is why didn't you do it, Ajoke? While we're waiting for orders, so today we'll be covering. I will be introducing you into AWS um, AI, which is AWS machine learning and AWS generative language model. Okay, okay. Maybe I didn't check well. Okay, thank you. So that is what we'll be doing. That is what we'll be covering today. So I would be introducing you into that and also um introducing you into the hands-on so I will be introducing you into the hands-on as well. Okay. And today, ta-na-na-na-na, you will be choosing the area you want to carry out your project. So when we have a lot of people in the house, I'm going to drop the link. So what the link contains is a career paths project link. So if you know you want to do your final project on data analysis, that is where you have your interest. You go ahead to pick data analysis and fill the relevant information. If you know you want cybersecurity and all of that, so the essence of this is so you don't just do a random project that doesn't actually add up at the end of the day. I want a project that is relevant to your career drive and maybe what you're currently doing now. So those are the two things we'll be doing today. So you picking your final project, which you would be submitting, which would start next section, which is week 7, and you're going to submit on week 7, section 2. Okay. So those are the two things we'll be doing today. And please choose a career path you are sure with because you can only choose once. You can't choose multiple times. Okay? You can only fill this form once. Please ensure you are sure with what you're feeling. You can't refill it. Please. It's only limited to one intake, okay, or one response. Okay. Okay, so with that being said, welcome everyone to Cloud Foundation Virtual Bootcamp Week 6. And for all of you that have made it to this stage of the boot camp, can you tell me in the comment section, starting from week 1, when you initially joined the boot camp and up to this current week, any improvements compared to, have you been able to gain any knowledge? Did you actually know the things you know now? Let's say, were you familiar with cloud initially before joining the boot camp? If yes, which areas and what is the new thing that you've learned? If you were never familiar with cloud boot camp, just state it and tell me how have the journey been? What have you learned so far? So let's do this exercise for the next 2 to 3 minutes. You're welcome, Chima. Chima, you're going to see when you're filling the form. Okay. So let's quickly do that. So what have you gained? What knowledge have you gained starting from the boot camp up to this time? Well, in aspect of your knowledge, where did you know cloud? What was cloud? Did you know what was AWS? What was database? everything that we've covered from week one till up to this week? If no, tell me areas that you've learned, knowledge that you've improved, knowledge that you've gained in respect to the boot camp and all of that. So let's do this exercise. I have always wondered what a cloud, okay, computing class would like and what Amazon is about. Now I have this experience. Okay, Chioma, nice. Any other person? So we have votes. I have a complaint coach. My feet here is being deducted, but not on my. Okay, so can you tell me the actual it's being deducted. So now I think Chema, something maybe it can't just be deducted without a service. So most times, if you use a service, okay, previously and you've deleted it, and that service cost you, even if you've deleted it, they are going to send you a notification. That notification doesn't mean that there is a resource that is currently running. Okay, maybe they are charging you for what you previously used. Okay, so do me this favor, go to your AWS console. You can use the course route to check, but for effectiveness, just use Amazon Q. Type on your Amazon Q. If you have the message, if it's an SMS you received, copy that SMS, paste it on Amazon Q, and ask Amazon Q one if you currently have any resources running. Tell Amazon Q, um, scan through my console all availability zone, not just that particular availability zone, because you might have set up a resource in a different availability zone. If that's the case, so it can detect it as well. So tell Amazon Q, scan all availability zone and tell me if I have any resource, cloud resource that is currently running. So it's going to scan your AWS and tell you if you have any running. And now that SMS I told you, if it's an SMS you received that you're being charged, paste the SMS and say you got this SMS message. Why? So if it's a previous resource that you used and they are now sending you later, because they do that to me as well. It doesn't mean that is the present, you have a current service running. It might be something you used previously and later they sent you a notification. Okay, so just use that so that we detect it. Please, the earlier you do it, the better. If you can do it in this class, it's fine. So, and just give me the response. The earlier you do it, the better, please, so that if you have any resource that is running, it doesn't just keep running and incurring charges for you. Okay. Okay, so now the next one says, please, regarding what I told you about, I just finished today. I will do the needful. And what is this, Imabom? I don't remember. Imabom, to be sincere, I can't remember. I can't remember. So, I am in love with the cloud because of your classes. I have done a bit of learning on AWS for this boot camp, but I didn't really understand much. Now I do, and I am confident in pushing a career in cloud. Thank you so much, King. Thank you. So let's see. Um, as you can say, I feel more confident, and it's improvement, and there is improvements in the service that I love the most is VPC. So you're going to be a networking woman then. The network, I it is more technical, but I go back to it always until I get confident. That's good. Yeah, educate might be technical now. You might not understand certain things, but the more you keep going back to the resource that you know is relevant to your career path or the passion you have, you keep unraveling and understanding new things. Okay. Not even me understood cloud in one day. Okay. So well done. Well done, Ajoke. So this Um, so anyone else? You made me understand cloud concept better. Thank you so much, Ajoke. So let's go to Favor. Thank you, Coach. I am grateful for all our sections. I have been using all of that, and I have learned doing work, and most times it's related to AWS, and I have been able to apply it stress free. Thank you so much. Thank you, Favor. So any other person, let's see what Wood has to say. I love your class because you are quite a lover and patient teacher. Woods, are you trying to bribe me? I have improved with troubleshooting skills. I love this one. I have improved with troubleshooting skills, not so scared of coding anymore. I love this one. And I love Cloud Fonts, Load Balancer, and Lambda. That's nice. And these three, you see Cloud Fonts, Load Balancer, and Lambda, these three services are one of the most used services. That's almost all organizations, when they're setting up their website, their application, anything they want to build, they use it. You know why? Because Lambda is, like I said, it's serverless. It is one of the most used. So people, organization use it a lot because nobody wants to waste money, right? So you only want to use for what you pay, what you only want to pay for what you use. And Lambda gives them that kind of pay for what you use service. It gives them that privilege. And load balancer is needed. It helps them scale, okay, to be able to reach customers and not breaking their application. Cloud phones, same thing. So these services are services that are mostly used by companies. Okay, so let's see. It is in the bootcamp I hear about cloud computing, and I am glad going through the section. It has opened my eyes to tech, which I will love to continue learning. I can say I have small experience at it. You're welcome, Faith. That's nice. Just keep learning. Learning is the goal. Okay, even me, I keep learning. It's just like we have our phones. You can see from your phone up, from time to time, this phone users, they update their phone, they upgrade their phone, and the essence of it is for better usage, right? So imagine they don't update the phone. So that is how learning is. You have to keep learning. You just have to, even myself, every other person, we keep learning because new services, new and better ways to do things. If you don't keep learning, you won't be relevant in your organization. Okay. Um, so Imabom said has, and so thank you everyone, and I'm so glad you enjoyed the exam. I told you. Imabom, can you chat me? Can you chat me after this class, please? So Lambda really surprised me. I deployed in few minutes compared to, yes, Lambda is quite easy. Yes, it's quite easy. Yeah, Lambda is so easy to deploy. Yeah. Like I know now that tech isn't all that. No, tech is not all that crazy. No one should no. No, it's not all that. It's not all that coding. It's not all that crazy. So when people hear tech, they are scared of it. For what comes to mind first is, oh, I have to code, but that is not always the case. Okay, so it depends on your career path. So now, with that being said, let's move into our class for today. So thank you everyone for the feedback. I really appreciate. So now, so what we'll be covering for today is today is the 6 week 6 section 1. Okay, so I will be introducing you into Amazon Bedrock and SageMaker. So these are AWS, two of AWS AI services. They have others. These are two of AWS AI services. Amazon Bedrock is generative AI, AWS generative AI service, and SageMaker is AWS machine learning service. Okay. So this service, what we'll be covering is using them to build and using them in how it is used in AWS. Okay. So Now, for those of you joining, if it's your first time of joining us, you're welcome. My name is Manuela, and I am a solution architect, and I am the instructor for this bootcamp. Okay, um, is the screen? Yes, you're welcome, Queen. That's nice. Okay, so now our learning objective for today is you are going to know what is Amazon Bedrock, so that when you leave this boot camp and so you hear the word Amazon Bedrock, you're going to know what it is, what it does, its use cases, when you should use it. Okay. And I'm going to explain something with SageMaker. What is SageMaker? You're going to understand what is generative AI, what is foundation models, how Bedrock is being used, how SageMaker is being used, and um, we're going to compare between when to use Bedrock and when to use SageMaker, and identify real world use cases. Okay. So now the next is recap from last week. Last week we covered, if you're not here, last week we covered Amazon Cloud Funds, which is one of those services that Ruth said she likes. And we covered, and got to introduce you to what is content distributed network origin. We got to understand also and learn application load balancer, AWS application load balancer, health check, and I did an hands-on for both of them for you as well. So now, now let's start the class. So, what is artificial intelligence? It's everywhere. Everyone is using it. So when you hear the word artificial intelligence, what comes to mind? What comes to mind? So in the comment section, when you hear the word artificial intelligence, what comes to mind? Okay, so can you tell me, what do you understand by artificial intelligence? AI. Everyone keeps saying AI. Yes, I know it's AI Faith. What does it mean? Choma say ChatGPT. Choma say ChatGPT. Faith say AI. I know it's AI Faith. It's ChatGPT. Okay. What is it? So now you should know AI Faith. Is it Faith? Yeah. AI Faith. AI is the abbreviation of the artificial intelligence. Okay. Chioma ChatGPT is a type of artificial intelligence, not what it means. I asked what it is. Okay. So Ajoke says large language model. Okay. Um, AdStep said training machine to do tasks that would normally need human brain powered. Yeah. And we have Quist said it is replica of human knowledge and intelligence. Okay. So all of you are right. Let's see. King says machines having human intelligence. Yes. Okay. Now, what is artificial intelligence? All of you are right. Artificial intelligence is a technology that allows computers to perform tasks that normally requires a human intelligence. So these computers are trained to understand the tasks, okay, and perform them. So example, we have an AI for coding only. Who can tell me the AI, the current AI that is, who can list AI that we have for coding in the comment section? We have artificial intelligence models built for coding. They are called AI coders. So who can tell me? Yes, Claude AI. Yes. Lovable is for designing. Yeah, a little bit of coding. Yeah. So you see, now these ones they've been trained for a specific task. Okay, these models they are trained for a specific task. Recognizing image, you have the ones for V code, and all of that. So now, VS Code is not an AI. It is a code editor. It's not an AI, but it has what's the name of this AI in it? It has co-pilots, co-pilot AI integrated. VS Code, please favor. VS Code is not an AI. No, it has co-pilots integrated in it. Okay, VS Code is an editor. Okay, is a code editor. Yes, so we have yes, you will have GitHub Copilot. Yes. Okay. So all of these are trained AI models that assist with coding. We have AI for other things. We have AI for image generation, image scanner, and a lot of them. Okay. So AI, when you hear artificial intelligence, they are technology, computers that have been trained to perform tasks that normally on a normal day would have required human intervention to do that. Okay. Now, you're welcome, David. Now, let's move forward. What is the important terminology that we need to understand? AI. So when you hear of AI, I am talking about artificial intelligence. Okay. When you hear of machine learning, I'm talking about a way for computers to learn patterns, data that if that they a way for them to understand the tasks that they use to generate the response that we receive. Okay, like Claude AI, like someone puts in there. This AI have been trained to understand codes, okay, to read codes, to understand codes, so that when we humans normally type in, when you go to Claude AI and you type, build a website for me, they know the code to combine to generate a website that you have prompted them to generate. Okay, that those are machine learning. Okay, they've been trained for that task. Now we have another terminology you need to understand: generative AI. Okay, what is generative AI? Generative AI is that AI that generates new content. Okay, the word generative is an AI that is built to generate new content. Okay. Now, another terminology is foundation models. What is this foundation models? A foundation model is the pre-trained model. Remember, AI isn't just doesn't just know what to do out of the blue. No. AI was trained for a particular task using what? Data. So now the pre-trained model is called the foundation AI, the foundation model rather. Okay, it is a large pre-trained AI model. Okay, and now the next terminology is the interface. What is an interface? Is using a trained model to generate results or to give a prediction of something. Okay, that is terminologies I need you to understand. Now, when you hear of the word models, I might be using models a lot. It's not a big word, it's nothing to really disturb your head about. When you hear of the word model, a model is the AI brain. It is that particular computer that is trained to understand you and I, our inputs. When we go to a computer now, let's say Claude AI, we go there and we type, generate this code for me. It is the model that has been trained to understand that human language inputs and then use that input to generate your requested output. Okay? Any questions before I move forward? Any questions with the terminology you don't understand before I move forward? We have AI, which is generative artificial intelligence. We have machine learning, which is a way where how these computers get to understand the tasks that they've been asked to do. We have generative AI, which is an AI that is built to generate content or response. Now we have foundation model, which is the pre-trained AI models. Okay. Now we have interface, which is using a trained model to generate a result or prediction. Okay. And the last one is models, which is the brain of AI, which is actually what has been trained. Okay. So Chema said no question. So we're going to move forward. Okay. So now notes, please. Bedrock. Would say what is the difference between, excuse me, what is the difference between foundation? Now, the model is the brain. The foundation is a pre-trained model. It's a pre-trained, like it's not the final. Okay, let me give you an example. Okay, let's say I am testing something and I get to train that thing to carry out a task. It is a pre-trained model, not the final model, like the final input where I say, okay, this is the final trained model to carry out the stacks. Okay, is that understood? It is the foundation model. Like, let's say if someone wants to train or someone built an AI to detect face recognition now. Now, who trains this model? Humans train this model. So now that first initial stage of training this model is called the foundation model. Okay, those are the foundation model. This is the first stage of training this model. Now, after this first stage of training this model, the final model that I decide to use for my AI that understands the human normal language input or that understands the face recognition, that does the job, that detects the face recognition, that is the AI brain. Okay, is that understood, Ruth? Ruth, is that understood? Let me know. And you can say the model learns through supervised or unsupervised. Yes, it is being trained. Then maybe just before now I didn't even know what cloud was. I only got, okay. I'm going to take all of your these things later. So let's see. Would say yes, understood. Okay. Thank you. So now let's move forward then. So okay, sorry, I haven't displayed the slides. So okay, please note bedrock, Amazon when we talk about, when you hear me say Amazon bedrock, okay, Amazon bedrock uses foundation models to build generative AI. Remember we talked about foundation models. Foundation models are what? Pre-trained. So now this pre-trained is now used to do what? A final generation. It's like you've trained something. I have tested, it's like pre-trained is more like tested and trusted model. Now it's kept somewhere. Now I decide to adopt that model that have been trained for face recognition to build my AI, to use it to build my AI. Okay, that is what Bedrock is. Bedrock is what? Bedrock is a generative, Amazon generative AI. And there are different models to adopt based on what the use case you want to use them for. There are image to image models, there are text to image models, there are different models, which I'm going to show you in the hands-on. And all of these models, remember, when it comes to cloud, you don't just pick a random service, you pick a service. Anything you're doing have to be decision oriented. You can't just randomly pick anything. So same applicable to AI. If you notice, not just any AI does any kind of job. Every AI is built for a specific task. Okay, so you're going to pick your model based on the task you want them to carry out. Okay, you're going to pick your foundation model based on the tasks you want them to carry out. And these tasks have already been, the foundation model have already been pre-trained for this particular task. All you need to do, Amazon Bedrock made it easy. All you and I need to do, if we say we want to build our own AI today, is just to go to Amazon Bedrock and adopt this pre-trained model and use them. Instead of training hours. If the company wants to train a model, it's going to take months, weeks, money, and all of that. Okay. Now, SageMaker. When I talk about SageMaker, or when you hear the word SageMaker, we're talking about machine learning. Is an Amazon AI that helps you and I, organization, anyone, if I decide today I want to build an AI, but I don't want to adopt, unlike the bedrock where I can go and adopt a foundation model and use it in like few minutes because it's already there trained for me. And I say, no, I want to train my model myself. You get to use SageMaker. SageMaker, you train this AI model yourself. You deploy it yourself. You manage it yourself. Okay, so those are the two different use cases. One is already there, you have foundation models for you to adopt and use them, while the other one is for machine learning. If you say, I want to train a model, my company wants to do this themselves, they want to train this model themselves, they want to deploy themselves, you use the SageMaker. Is that understood? Is it understood? Do you understand the difference between Bedrock and SageMaker now? Let me know in the comment section, please. Do you understand the difference between Bedrock and SageMaker now? Let me know the comment section, please, before I move forward. Okay, so, okay. Thank you all. So, yes, 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 yes. Okay, so let's move forward. Now, I have explained what a generative AI is. Just the word generate, to generate something. That is its use case. That is what it is built for. Okay. Generative AI is that AI that we use to create new content. Okay. We use to it can generate text, image, codes, summary, answer, music, just name it. Okay. That is a generative AI. Okay. Examples, we have the chat GPT. When you and I we use GPT, I could go there and say, what is the weather for today? It generates the response for me, gives me the response. Right? Am I right or wrong? When we go to Claude AI, we say, like I said before, mm, build me a website. It builds me the website. It generates this Python code for me. It gives me the code. Same thing with Amazon Nova. Okay. And there are so many other generative AI out there. Okay. So when you hear the word, not just when you hear artificial intelligence, don't generalize it. There are different use cases, different needs, different purposes why they are built, okay, and when to use them. Okay, so now I've explained from foundation model, like I said. It is that model that have already been trained. All you need to do, you adopt it. Instead of building an AI model from zero, okay, you adopt the one that have been pre-trained for you, okay? Very easy. That is the use case, okay? They have been pre-trained for us to adopt it instead of waiting months and spending more money to use them, okay? Now, I've explained what an Amazon Bedrock is, we understood. I've explained bedrock for us, why we need bedrock. Okay, so now, like I said, Amazon Bedrock is a generative AI. Why do we need bedrock? Easy to use. You, instead of waiting months, spending more money to train your own AI as a company, as a person, you can easily go there to adopt and use them. Okay, easy to use. Find an AI model in few minutes, deploy it, manage your service, and all of that. Without Bedrock, Amazon AWS manage more of the underlying infrastructure. All you need to focus is building your application. Okay, that is the benefit of Bedrock. Bedrock is a serverless as well. It's a serverless AWS service. So AWS manages the underlying infrastructure. They already provide a model, a pre-trained model. All you and I need to do is what? Deploy it, manage our application. AWS have done every other thing for us. Okay. Now, SageMaker. I've explained SageMaker before. When do you get to use SageMaker? You get to use SageMaker if you want to train your model, deploy it yourself, and manage the machine learning, unlike Bedrock. Okay. Now, tell me, give me the use case between Bedrock and SageMaker in the comment section. Tell me, just like I put it in the slides, but in your own words, when do you think you should use, or when do you think what do you think is the use case for Bedrock, and what do you think is the use case for SageMaker? What did I just say? Bedrock is like Lambda, why SageMaker? Yes. She's scared. But yes, that is what it is. Bedrock is like Lambda, why SageMaker is like EC2. That is correct. Yes, that is correct. You guys will not kill with your explanation, but that is correct. Okay. That is what it is. So now give me, when do you think it's ideal to use Bedrock? When do you think it's ideal to use SageMaker? So we have Choma. So SageMaker, when you want to create your own, no Choma, I don't think. When you want to create your own, even when you use Bedrock, you're creating your own application. So I think you didn't complete what you wanted to say. So if you sell me SageMaker when you want to create and train your own model, yes, accepted. But even with Bedrock, you're creating your own application. Okay. But when you want to create your own what? When you want to create your own work, Joma, your own what? And Wood says Bedrock when you don't want to manage yourself. Yes. SageMaker when you want to oversee all and start from scratch. Perfect. That is what it is. Bedrock, if you don't want to manage the underlying infrastructure, all you want to do is just to go there, adopt a train model, apply it to your application, build it. You use Bedrock. SageMaker, you want to train yourself, you want to see everything yourself from scratch, like Wood said. Yes, you go for SageMaker. Okay. So let's see what Ima wants to say. If you want to easily generate and deploy your application, use Bedrock. Yes, that is what it is. You use Bedrock to build and deploy fast. Yes. Okay. SageMaker is foundational and fully managed. Yes. Okay, you all got it. So these are when you should use them. Okay. Now let's go to our hands-on. So now for this hands-on, I am going to introduce you to these platforms, but a I won't be launching anything because when it comes to AI, AWS doesn't give like that free tier because AI is really expensive. Because when it comes to token generation, okay, it's does anyone know what is a token here? Let me know in the comment section why I explain. Okay, when it comes to token generation, is really expensive. Okay, and AWS give free tier. There is a free tier, but if your account is more than 2 months, you don't have that free tier, and that free tier is only applicable for Bedrock because Bedrock is serverless. But SageMaker, you get to pay. Okay, so please, the assessment I've given you as well, I didn't really give you to deploy anything like that because I don't know if most of you your account is more than 2 months. I don't want you to incur bills. Okay, so I'm going to show you the interface, the things you need to complete your assessment. Okay, so Oba King says token is like a yes. Token is the money of AI, is the credit you get to pay. Okay, does anyone want to put it in a different way? I'll switch to my AWS console. Does any other person want to put it in a different way? I'm just going to share my AWS console with you. So please, when doing your assessment, okay, I don't know if your account is more than 2 months, but be careful, okay? I didn't really give you anything to actually deploy that much in your account. So as usual, you type, let's start with Bedrock, right? Let's start with Bedrock. So you go there and you type, I don't know, okay. So you see, we're using this one. We're using the one that says Bedrock, okay? You click on it. You can see is the easiest way to build and scale generative AI. Bedrock, very easy for you to adopt and build your AI. So now what I'm going to show you the pre-trained AI models that you can easily adopt. Okay. So I checked the pricing. Oh, I don't have it anymore. I would have showed you. So I checked the pricing for all of them using Amazon Q. So that was why I got to realize if your account for SageMaker, there is no free tier, you're going to pay. So some of you have 100 or 200. I don't know how far that money have gone from your exercise. So just be careful. And SageMaker, you don't have free tier. You're going to pay for your tokens. So for Bedrock, it says there's a little bit of free tier, but only for accounts less than 2 months. Okay, so if your account is not less, is your account is more than 2 months, be careful. But the assessment I have given you, all I am showing you, it's what you need to do your assessment. Okay, it's all you need to do your assessment. Again, if you know your account is less than 2 months, you can explore. You can decide to launch one or two, okay? Just for you to understand everything, every component, every feature in Bedrock and SageMaker, okay? So we're starting with Bedrock. Now, as usual, this is the overview. The overview literally tells you what Bedrock does, the benefit, its use cases, okay, the different AI models that you can easily integrate and adopt and use Bedrock together. So you can see them here. Okay. So now for you to start, you go to overview or you go to quick start. So we are going to click on quick start. This is where I'm going to show you the different train models that you can use. So now for quick start, it says make your first API call to Bedrock. Remember, you guys deployed an API recently. Using that API, if you have an API, you can connect it to Bedrock and choose the model you want, and voila, just like that, you've generated your own AI. As easy as that. It's very easy. How I wish I had that much money to show you guys. It's really very easy. Just have an API, integrate your API, choose the relevant feature that you need for your application, and it's very easy to deploy. So now in this case, let's say for instance, your company is saying we want to build an AI, but what we want that AI to do is text generation. Okay, we want an AI that generates text based on response. Let's say they want you to build a chat box for them. You know, almost every company now have a chat box on their website that responds to customer input 24 hours, right? So if your customer is saying, we want you to build a chat box for us, this is the one you're going to choose. Okay? Because this is what generative text. Create text from prompt and instruction. So once your customer goes there and type in their response, this is going to generate text for them. Text response on what they are asking for. Okay. Now, if you want for stream response, you use this. If you want for analyze media, you use this. These are different use cases. Okay. So let's say you want to use this one, you're going to click on this one. Okay. Now the next thing is your API. How can you just integrate it? You can just click in here, click on generate API, copy this API and integrate it into your platform. Okay. Once I click on this, I'm going to generate an API. and I integrate it into my platform, and that is all. Okay, it's very easy, very easy. So now the next step is, let me show you the models that have been trained. So you can see these are different cloud AI that you can easily integrate with your application. Not just clone AI, we have Meta AI as well. You can integrate with your application. We have Amazon AI as well. You can integrate with your application. Okay, very easy. And now this AI, you can select them based on, like I said, the use cases. So let's say we want an AI for text. You come here, you choose the one for text, this one. Let's say you don't want for text, you want image generation. You choose the image, the one for image generation. Okay, this one's are for image generation. Let's say you don't want image generation, you want video. You can filter over here and get the one for video generation, and then choose the one that's compatible, or that is or that suits into what you want. Okay, this is the Amazon serverless as well. So all of these are serverless. Okay, so API keys. Why is Bedrock easy to use? Because with your API keys, you can easily integrate with it. Once you have, remember, I explained what an API is, right? API is a middleman. What does API do? Can anyone remember what? Tell me in the comment section, what is the use case of API and why is it important? Can you tell me in the comment section the use case of API one, why it's important? What is the use case of API and why is it important? API is very important. Yes, API is really important because these days a lot of integrations are happening. Clone AI to integrate with Bedrock, Bedrock to integrate with different platforms, not just that, a lot. And this integration happens because API is involved. With API, easily you can integrate with any software. Any software allows model to communicate with each other. Any software. So API is very important. Okay. So um let's see if we can see that models. So these are different models, their prices, their use cases and everything. This is where you get to see them. Okay, and now you go and decide, okay, this one suits. Now you can see these are both Claude AIs, right? But the models are different. This is Claude Sonic 4.6. And what is the best use case for this? This is for frontier intelligence and scalability. When I say different models, don't think that this company are just building models. No, these models are trained for best use cases. Meaning, if you want to do this and get the best result, this is the model to use. It's just like different types of iPhones. They don't have the same camera feature or the same battery feature. That is how model is. Okay, every model is built for a particular reason and best use case. Okay, so please choose the one that you know is relevant to you. And you can see the token is here. You can see output token is 1 million tokens. Okay, response, the pricing, and all of that, it's there for you. Okay, so this is what what's it called, bedrock bedrock it's all about, and very easy to integrate as well. So now let me show you if you want to customize your models as well. And my this thing is taking too long. So now if you decide to say I want to create and customize my own model. Okay, you can decide to customize your own model and choose your model customization over here based on the job and the task you want it to carry out. Okay, once you, with this particular interface, you can customize your own model, choose the job you want it to carry out, the type of amount of token, and all of that. Okay, that is what you can do here. If you say you want to customize yours, you don't just want to pick a random model that have been provided for you. Okay, so this is the use case for SageMaker. I'm sorry, Bedrock. Bedrock is very easy for you to use. So let's see model access. I'm trying to show you, there's this one. I've showed you the API keys. If you want to see the quotes, like the model quotes based on token and pricing as well, you're going to see here. So now the essence is AI token are very expensive. So you don't just randomly pick. You pick based on the token, the output, the pricing. So you go ahead to see all of that here. So you can see this model token is 4M, and while this is 1M. So if what you think you want to generate, Sonic VI model can generate that for you, then you should sorry, if you think this one can generate what you want for you and not just Sonic VI specifically, so why waste your money? Okay, so you go for the one that generates 4M tokens. Okay, so all of this is what you have to look out for when generating it. So you can see your tokenization here. When you generate your model, when you select your model, your tokens are going to appear here. You see the token results, what it looks like, how much you might be paying per token, and all of that, because it differs also based on the models. So this is it for Bedrock. So let's go for SageMaker. Do you have any question for Bedrock before I move forward? Do you have any question for Bedrock before I move forward? Any question for Bedrock before I move forward? Okay, Chema said no. So let's go to SageMaker, the almighty SageMaker. So now the SageMaker you'll be picking, you're going to choose the one that says build, train, deploy machine learning. Okay. Okay, so this is SageMaker. Now, like I said, you use it to train your model, customize your model. Like it's more like a preference and customization AI. Okay, it has that for you. Now to get started, now you can decide to use Amazon model if you want to adopt OpenAI, Meta, NVIDIA, Google, anyone you can decide to use. Okay. Now, for you to get started, sorry, for you to get started, you could decide to come here and say, set up studio, or you can start from here. Let me show you guys this. No. If you want to generate your image. So, so when you see marketplace is like different company that have same needs, or let's say different company that have AI and they are licensed with Amazon to sell their models for you. So let's say you will sell Claude AI, right? That is not AWS AI or AWS model, but they have partnership with AWS to sell their models on AWS marketplace because people might need it. So AWS try to make things easy for people to integrate with software that they know are relevant and their customer needs for their businesses. Okay. So we click on create. Now for this creation, as usual, AWS usually have the one that they have as a default setup that you can easily adopt. And they always give organization the options if they want to customize. Okay. So you can see set up for organizations. Okay. If you know you want to set up for your own organization, you have preference, network, and all of that, you go for this. But if you want a quick start, you choose this. It's already set up. Okay. It's going to give you a new IAM rule, a public internet access, security workflow, SageMaker ML flow, and all the SageMaker Studio applications. Okay. Now, if you want to set up, you go ahead to click your set up. Or no, I wouldn't do that for now because I don't have my account is more than years. Yes. So, and I don't have a credit on it. I think my credit finished the last time. Okay. So now for domain, when we talk about domain, when we talk about AI domain is an environment for the team to access the SageMaker. Okay. It's like giving authority for users to access your SageMaker. Okay, that is what the domain does. So one account can have either one or multiple domains. One account can have either one or multiple domains. It all depends on. Okay. Now for the image, what does excuse me, what is the essence of the image? If you are creating your SageMaker and you want to use an image, let's say you want to your model to train based on image, or you want to use an image for customization, this is where you create your image. Okay, you have to click on, once you click on this button, there's an option for you to upload your image, and then you can use your image. If you want to use the image to train your model, then you can use the image to train your model. Okay, then when we see the life cycle configuration, this is literally you controlling your, when should this model be deleted, the access base of the model, and all of that. So this life cycle of your model is more like you ensuring that the model that you're creating isn't going to be deleted by just a random person. And if you want it to be deleted in a specific time, you're going to put the time duration there for it to be deleted. Or if you want a certain customization for your model, this is where you get to create that configuration. Okay. Once you click on create configuration, you have those options there. So now we have something called the role manager. What is the essence of the role manager? The role manager provides three pre-configuration. Okay. Now, what does it do? It helps to explore like the policies. Okay. So not just any random person can have access to your configuration. Remember, if your organization is telling you as the AI person now in your organization, go build or go train our model, and you have a team of five, not every person from that team of five needs to have access to this model. Why? So that you can know if the model fails or if you're having an issue, you should know who to hold accountable. And secondly, so that let's say you have a junior in your team, not just a random person can come and delete your model. Let's say you've trained a model for like months, and one random or new person in your team just comes and press delete and everything goes like that. It's waste of time, waste of money and resources for your company. So this gives you access. This is more like access to who has access to the model that you're training, who can do what role, you can see it here, what role and all of that. Generally, you managing your role and permission. Okay, that is what this is all about. Does anyone have any question before I go to SageMaker Studio? Any question? Okay, so I have a question. It says, Ma, for the 4M, how much is that? Okay, so I don't know how much that is in USD. So Imabum, I don't know how much that is in USD. But if you want to check, AWS have a price explorer. That's number one. If you want to quickly check as well, you can use AWS Q AWS Amazon Q. Okay, so in USD, I don't know how much that is. I don't know how much that is. Okay. So any question on SageMaker before I show you SageMaker Studio? If you have a question, please put it in the comment section, okay? So now, training your models, okay? This is the section, before I introduce you to SageMaker Studio, this is the section where if you're coming to train your models, now, how do you train your models? You train your models with data, okay? If you want to carry out a training, now let's say your organization is saying, we want to train our models to only recognize our staffs, for instance, okay? To recognize facial recognition of who is a staff of XYZ company. So you come here, once you click here, you're going to put the training datas. You're going to put your training datas, what you need to train your model. Maybe if it's facial recognition, you have an image to use and all of that. So once you click on create training jobs, you have the options where you have to put in your data and all you need to train your models. Okay, so this is how you get to train your models. You don't just train your models randomly. You train your models based on the tasks that you want the model to carry out. Okay. Okay, you're welcome there. Okay, so now finally let me introduce you to SageMaker Studio. So now, what is SageMaker Studio? What's this? Now your AI. Okay, now what is SageMaker Studio? Okay, the first integration, SageMaker Studio is more like you have all your SageMaker customization and training in this studio. I'm not going to generate, so let's just see if it works. I can still do anything. Okay, fine, it's okay. So now for SageMaker Studio, you have all the AI models or all the AI training aspect that you need to actually kickstart if you want to train your AI. Okay, just like a studio, it provides you all the resources. So now you don't just randomly pick, like I said, there are certain things that needs to be in consideration, certain things that needs to be in place before you start training your models. Things like what? Policy. Okay. What policy, what role do you need for this model? So this particular one, the quick start, gives you the IAM role. Now you need internet, right? If you're building, let's say you're building a chat box for your company, for customers to be able to interact and get information. You need internet for them to be able to access your SageMaker, your chat box, your AI. This gives you an internet access. So you need encryption. If you want encryption of your data, encryption at rest and in transit, this gives you that. Okay. So this is more like a default AI already. But if I click the start up, this takes you to the page where you get to now customize and put in all of the customization for this resources or components that you need for your AI training and generation. Remember, SageMaker, you don't just train only, you train you deploy. When I say deploy, it means you launch for people to have access to it, and then you manage. Okay, because you're building from scratch, you need to train, deploy it, or you launch it, then you manage it. So this what's it called, SageMaker Studio gives you, you could use the AWS quick starts, you could use the customization. Okay, so this is what it is for SageMaker and Bedrock. So now for your assessment, like I said, I, because I consider the fact that I don't know if some people's assessment is more than 2 weeks, sorry, 2 months, and I wouldn't want you to incur charges. But if you feel your account is less than 2 months, before you carry out any tax, personal tax of your own, I advise ask with Amazon Q. Since you'll be asking with your own accounts, you can see, analyze my account. If I carry out this tax, will I be charged this amount, or how will I be charged? Please do that analysis before you do anything that is out of the assessment that I have given you. Because the assessment I gave you, you just need to show me that you know one or two things in your console, but you're not launching anything. So, but if you want to personally launch, please ask Amazon Q for your account analysis to ensure that you're not going to be charged that much. Okay. Okay, so that's that for the hands-on. Let's respond to questions. So now please put in your questions. Ma, what about IAM? I saw that in our course. Yes, IAM is the last class, which is for tomorrow. Okay. Yes, I'm teaching you IAM and Cognito. So that is for your class for tomorrow. Okay. IAM is in your class for tomorrow. So any other question? Any other question before we move forward? So now, as always, please delete all resources. Okay, please delete all resources. Okay, and then if you've not done your multiple authentication factor, please do that in your account. And for today's class, we'll learn about SageMaker, some Bedrock SageMaker. You got to know what is generative AI, what is foundation model, okay? And we identify the use cases. Well, so now I am going to put in, okay, for our next class, like I think who asked, Mary Judith, yes. So your assessment, as always, is theory and hands-on, okay? But the hands-on, you're not deploying, you're showing me the different components, what they do to ensure you know them. But if you personally want to deploy, please ensure you confirm the pricing from Amazon Q on your account. Okay. Then knowledge check here. This is what we covered today. So our next class, I think Mary Judith asked. Okay, not Mary Judith, is okay, yes, Mary Judith. Yes, Mary Judith. So next class we're covering IAM, which is Identity Center, and Cognito. And the reason for IAM and Cognito is because in your general final project, you will be needing IAM. You should know what is IAM because you'll be integrating with different, you might be given access to different AWS service in your, what's it called, in your final project. And you can't do that if you don't know what is an IAM. Okay. So I know I have introduced you to IAM during the first time of this bootcamp, but I didn't really go deep into it. So that is what we're covering tomorrow. Okay. So tomorrow is for these two services, and these two services are AWS security service. They are part of the AWS security service. Cognito is an AWS security service. You know, when you go to your website, no. Okay, when you go to a website, and you want to gain access to even your personal account, you have to log in, right? That is where Cognito, Amazon Cognito comes in. It's a verification service. It enables users to verify their selves before they have access to any account. Okay, so you have to log in and sign up and all of that. That is Cognito. Then Amazon AWS Identity IAM, which is Identity Center, it has this is the center that gives you permission. Now it gives individual permission, it gives AWS services permission as well. Okay. So you need these two services. You need to know these two services before your final project comes up next week. So I'm going to be teaching you these two services tomorrow. Okay. I had 100 credits when I nearly launched AWS, moving to 130, 150, 170. I don't understand. How is it moving? Is it reducing? I think you had, I don't know. I have to see your AWS credit list. I don't know how you say it's moving. AWS doesn't just randomly give credits. Okay, Mary Judith. I need to see your credits, or you need to check your AWS. When you go to your course explorer, click on, when you go to your build and management, I think build and management console, click on credits. It's going to give you your credits. So there you're going to see the credits. Okay. No, they don't reward us from you for using their services. No, no. Okay, so can someone go to your credits? You could go to your management console, click on credits. Is that the new AWS tax? Okay, so I need to find out. Go to your where you have your billing and management, click on credits. I want to see your credits flow. Okay, click on credit if someone can do that now in this class, and let me see what you have in your credit. Oh, even yours is increasing, then that is not, then you guys can do a tax on what's it called, AI then. Oh really? Wow. Okay, so you guys can do a tax on AI then I think you guys can do a tax on AI if you have that much credit. What do you think? Okay, because during my time, no. Maybe that's the new AWS pattern. Okay. Okay. So now I'm going to drop the link for you to. I tried to round up the class early today because you have to. I'm going to drop the link right now for you to put in your project. Okay. So I will be dropping the link now. Please choose wisely. It is only once. Please fill in and let me know if you have any challenges. Okay. Fill in if you have any challenges. Let me know. I'm having network issues. So, okay, so your career path selection form link is there. So now please go ahead to fill. Anyone that is not in this class, I don't know how you want to do your final project. This class and tomorrow, that is the final today and tomorrow is the final state final deadline for you to choose your career path, because next week I would be grading you and putting you into your project, and you're starting your project next week. So please do that fast immediately. Once you're done, tell me done, 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 done in the comment section, so I go through it and know what to do. Please, can we do that in less than 5 minutes? Okay, that's nice. That's nice. That's nice. I didn't know. Maybe that's the new. That's nice. When I opened my account, I was given 300 at a stretch. Okay, no increasing, rather decreasing. So when I carry out a tax, okay. Educate just confirmed they gave 20 for using Lambda. Hmm. That's nice. Then you guys should practice more often then. What do you think? Yeah, because I was having the notion that I have during my time. When I opened my account, even when I opened my account, I was the one that requested. So I was giving 300. And when I perform a tax that I incur bill that is out of the free tier, they take it from the 300. So they giving you 100. I was scared that you've already exhausted 100 because I really performed tax and my 300 almost finished. So if they keep increasing yours, then it's very nice. It's nice. Extra 100. That's nice. Then please, if you guys have this much money on AWS, each of you should perform a tax on AI, one on Bedrock and one on SageMaker. A very small tax. Now, I would allow you to choose the tax, okay? Because in your assessment, I was thinking you've already exhausted your credits. So if you feel this is optional, if you feel you want to carry out a tax to deploy just a small tax, so yeah, you understand, you can go ahead to do that. Now you can ask Amazon Q, give me an idea of a small tax to perform to get to understand this or this. Okay, so just a small tax, but it's optional still, because I feel carrying out a tax is going to make you understand better. But like I said, it's optional, it's up to you. It's totally up to you. Okay, so it depends on how how much interest you have in learning. And the reason for this is I think it has a limit though. Okay, so what is saying I think it has a limit too, though it doesn't go past 177. Okay. So just you all should just be careful. But if you feel you have money and in your account and you want to carry out small SageMaker tax or and Bedrock, please go ahead to do that. Okay, but it's optional, like I said. So please fill the where is it? Please fill the career part form. Once you're done filling, please can I get done? Can I get done in the comment section so I go through them? And if you know anyone that is not in class today, please tell them tomorrow is the last day. Trust me, after tomorrow, I am not going to respond to anyone because marking and going back and forth is time. And I don't have that time. I work as well. Okay. So today and tomorrow, I have dropped the link today. The final day for filling up your project is tomorrow. The final day for filling up your project is tomorrow. So, and it's limited to one response. So please fill and choose wisely. And once you're done filling, can I get it done in the comment section so we move forward? I don't know where is Adako Woods. I don't know where is Adako, but don't worry. She's going to hear it. She shouldn't feel and come to my DM. I will not respond. I don't know where she is. She's even laughing. She's even laughing. So while we're feeling that, I want to start by saying, I almost forgot. Thank you guys. I want to start by saying, as usual, you all did well in your assessments. Okay, so I've gotten done for favor. Okay, just try to take out time to fill it. I know you're always at work on weekends. Try to take out time to fill it. Okay, so I want to say well done to everyone because personally mark your assessments. I don't just blindly give scores. I literally go through them line by line. Okay. Now, I have seen improvement in compared to certain people when they started and when they joined. When they started, sorry, and now. I don't know. Ajoke is making me say things. Ajoke, what? Cloud support and DevOps is separate. Yeah, they are two separate things. They're not the same. They're not the same, Barry. Okay. So, as usual, you guys are really doing well with your assessments. I've seen improvement a lot, troubleshooting. I think George Wood or someone that said now she knows how to troubleshoot and all of that. I I want to say well done. Okay. So, but there are certain people I want to comment based on this last assessment. So I want to start by saying, calling these names. So, who is it Rubin, Tarenda Rubin? I don't think I've seen that name here. Maybe you might be bearing a different name. So the name is Tarenda Rubin. I want to say well done. When I said use GPT to troubleshoot and do certain things, I didn't just say let GPT think for you. I didn't just say copy and paste. I will say it every day. Try to use AI to brainstorm. Don't let AI make decisions for you or be the one to take the understanding part of your project for you. Let AI be a tool to accelerate and get job done faster. Okay. So, but this Ruben, she really impressed me with this assessment, the previous assessment. So I want to say well done. So the second person is Adako. Well done. The third person is Favor. There's so many Favor here. So I specifically put on her name, her son name, because I think the last assessment as well, I was impressed. Is it Favor Usonobon? Please sorry if I did not pronounce your son name properly. But I think it's Favor Usonobon. I want to say well done. Then the fourth person is Roslyn Kazonda. Roslyn Kazonda. Yeah, you really did well with assessments. And the fifth person is Grace Amal. I'm sorry, I don't know what's your surname, but the her name is Grace. And the sixth person is Hazana Aminu. Hazana Aminu, her YouTube name is Hazi. And the seventh person is Miriam Wasiu. You see the seven people? You guys impressed me with your assessment. A lot of you, your last assessment, you just went to GPT or any AI you used for your architecture and you copied and you paste. I'm like, you didn't even take your time to put down the flow, what this does, what no. And what I'm saying is I'm like, really? Really? These people. But this 7%, especially Rosalind, is it Tarenda? Please, who is this Rosalind Tarenda? I want to know, who is she? She took her time. The arrow on where it has to be. I don't want to put it here. The flow from data to Lambda. A lot of people just did the flow like it's from user to what's it called, to DNS, which is the domain name, which is Amazon. You'll be using Route 55. Then you go to API. Then you have your Lambda carry out the response and then go to your back end. But she went as far to draw the arrow from Lambda, from database back to Lambda. Do you know what that means? When I saw that, I have never thought that. When I saw that, I literally smiled. What that means is this: it's not from Lambda to your database, which is RDS, is not just a one-way response. It's a two-way response. Because Lambda goes to your database, fetch the response that you and I or the user have responded or requested, and then take that response back to the user. Please, who is this Rosalind? Do you have a different YouTube name? So you all seven, you all did well. Thank you so much. Favor, I think I've seen Favor here. Favor, yeah. Favor Uzonobon. Yeah, I think I've seen Favor Uzonobon. I think that's a YouTube name as well. I think Rosalind, yeah, Rosalind, that's your new YouTube name as well. I think you're not here today. Rosalind Kazoda. Rosalind Kazoda. Adaku name is Adstef. That's her YouTube name. She decided to use Adstef. Then there's Grace. There's Hazana. Hazana is Hazi. She's not here. Then Miriam Wasiu. Who is Miriam Wasiu? I think I know the others. I don't know who is Miriam Wasiu and Rosalind Tadenda. I think that's your surname. So all seven of you, well done. Every other person, you did well, but I'm saying well done to these people because they went an extra mile. They didn't just copy. Oh, Ajoke, that's you. Oh, wow. Well done, Ajoke. Oh, well done. Well done. Well done, Ajoke. Well done. So I'm saying well done to these people, not because the others you didn't do well. You did well. But these people went an extra mile, especially with their architecture. As a solution architect, yeah, we are really great on architecture, and not just for solution architect. If your architecture can't tell a story that your stakeholders and your DevOps team will understand, then you have work to do. Some people literally copied the what's it called? The what's it called? The chat GPT flow and just pasted it on it. I'm like, okay, so now I've gotten done, and well done to everyone for even taking a step to do your assessment in the first place. It's a big one. Well done to everyone. You all are really doing well, and I'm proud of you. Okay, so what is Adako saying? Okay, so let me go through what I've gotten. I've gotten a lot of done with your career path. So let's go through it and see what we have. Okay, so I'm getting a lot of you are choosing cybersecurity. Okay, I'm getting 28% of you are choosing cybersecurity, which is how many? So 4 cybersecurity, 3 cloud engineers, cloud solution architects, cloud. Okay, no, this one is 1 cloud software engineer. Wow, who is this software engineer? Okay, so 3 cloud engineers, 1 cloud solution architect. Okay, so what about data analysis? Okay, I have that because I know you all were really bent on data analysis. Okay, so I have all of this now. I have all of this now. I meant the fact that it's a two-way communication mix. Yes, it's a two-way communication. Yes, not all architecture you just do a one way, and not all architecture you have to use an arrow. Some architecture you have to use a solid line. And what that solid line means, you don't have to put in an arrow, just a solid line. What that solid line means is that there's a communication. There's a communication. You can decide to use an arrow this one, arrow this way. And the line also differs. When you see an architecture with a red line, it means an architecture with a red line is always used for VPCs. Okay. Now, I think it's this Woslin. I think maybe not Woslin or someone else. The architecture was not 100%, but the person, I think it was Ajoke even. I forgot it. The person did the public and the private description for me. I don't know, it was Ajoke or someone. So now the person went ahead to say for the database and Lambda, the person did a demarcation and put them in the public and the private, which I really impressed because your Lambda is not going to be in your private, it's not going to be publicly, your database is not going to be publicly. Obviously, those are going to be in your private back end. Okay, and they are going to be, you're going to use the private permission or whatever it is for that. That person went ahead to do that description, even if it was not, the architecture was not 100% drawn correctly, but just that what's it called, that split of of Lambda and database, putting them in the private and tagging them private. The person tagged them private VPC, even if it wasn't right, but I knew what she meant. She meant putting them, they have to be privately kept. I was impressed. This is means, oh, the person understood what is going on. Solution architect, man, you laughed. Oh, no, Ajuke, I don't understand. What does this mean? So you understand why some people just copied and paste? No, no, no. Okay, Ajoke, are you the one that picked solution architect? I don't know. Someone picked career solution architect. No, no, no. I smiled because I don't know. I just smiled. Nothing. No, Ajoke, nothing. Not a big deal. Okay. So please, your assessment again. I want to stress your screenshots. I use a lot of systems. But even if the screenshots, I most times I had to comment on some people's assessment. I said not visibly. I can't even read what is there. I zoomed in and I can't read what is there. How am I supposed to see? I don't just give you scores. I literally go through them line by line. How am I Faith possible? Please go ahead to fill this what's it called? The link there for your career path. Okay. Go ahead to fill. Anyone that have not filled, please go ahead to fill. I can't see your screenshot. How do you want me to read them? And some people are showing me deployment and they are not even showing me the result of their deployment. I responded to some of you and I said, no evidence to show that your your cloud font actually worked. No evidence. You're just giving me screenshot of CloudWatch deploy. Where is the evidence that it worked? Where is the evidence that it can publicly be seen by people on the internet? No evidence as such. Not really. Everybody have a learning path, but for solution architects, you have to know a little bit of almost everything. You can have your specialty. You can decide to specialize in migration, whatever data, any part, but you have to know a little bit of everything. Yes, because architecture, you can't just blindly choose a solution without knowing. I think I'm going to put, you guys can go to my LinkedIn, you can see some architectures. You can design an architecture with more than 20 services. So how do you design an architecture if you don't know what they do? Why you should use them in the first place? So that is why even if you have a specialty, if you're choosing solution architect, you have to have a you have to know a little bit of almost what's like the most popular use solutions are, what they do, best use cases, why you should use them, and all those stuff. Yeah. Okay. So with this being said, I'm going to drop. So I'm going to drop the attendance link. Please fill your attendance. If you have any challenge in filling your attendance, let me know. So please as well fill your career path form. Okay. I will give the last, you can only fill once. I would still drop the link tomorrow, which is the last day. for those that are not here today. But you can't, if you filled for today, you can't fill for tomorrow. So you can't change it because it's just one response needed. Okay. So please go ahead and fill the attendance for today. If you have any issue, let me know before we leave the class. So I have dropped the attendance for today. So while you're filling the class, while you're filling the attendance rather, did you enjoy the class for today? Did you enjoy the class for today? If yes, tell me why. If no, tell me why, please. Okay. So I have enjoyed the class. I don't know what's wrong with my. That's fine. Teacher coach, that's fine. That's fine. It's okay. Both are security, both are on the security level. So that okay, so you picked cloud engineer. So cloud engineering is not for security. So you would have picked there's cloud security, but I don't think I listed it. But if you want to go more on the security side, then I advise you choose your second option, which is cyber security. If you know your interest is just securing the cloud system, then go with your second option. Okay, so I enjoyed. Okay, so okay, thank you. Thank you, Ajoke. You're welcome, Chuma. What do you mean is not picking? Today's topic is not. I don't understand. Did have you all filled your attendance? Oh, I merciful. This person just filled the attendance, and I'm seeing a lot of field done. I think you should check why you're unable to fill. Is anybody facing an issue filling the attendance? Okay, you've marked the attendance. Okay. Is any other person have issue filling the attendance? Okay, Faith. Um, Ajoke, when you mean SecOp, you're talking about DevSecOp. So DevSecOp is DevOps but applying security to DevOps, not just SecOp. It is called DevSecOp. Okay, it is called Dev. Okay, that is what it is called. So it is you applying security to DevOps, for securing the CI/CD pipeline, securing every code that goes to deployment, generally applying security to DevOps. That is what DevSecOps is. For security, same. For security, yeah. If you want to apply, convert because of exam. If you need to apply, if you're interested in applying, going for security, but in aspect of securing the cloud, there's something called cloud security specialist. But you having a skill for as a cyber security or a cyber analyst, you can still apply that skill to cloud. And one thing you all should know is this name differs based on the company. You can see something like a cyber analyst or a cyber specialist or a cloud security specialist listed, but different names, different job role names. But when you go through the job description, this we're going to do on week 8. I'm going to we're going to do the LinkedIn job description and all of that. That is week 8. Week 8, session 1, after you submitted your project. But if you go to the job descriptions, you're going to see that they require same skill, but they all have different names. So what you should concentrate is the skill. Okay? You should concentrate with the skill. As a solution architect, what I do is architecture, what's it called? Architecture, discovery sections, proof of concept or proof of demo, writing statement of works, stakeholder communication, onboarding, integration, and all of that. But these same skills can be applied to solution engineers. Some company call them solution engineers. So, but same skill, different names. Have you seen? Same skill, different names. Okay, so you should be more interested in the skill. You should be more interested in the skill, not the name. Be more interested in the skill, not the name. Okay, so please, everyone, ensure you fill the attendance before we leave, please. Any other question? Mary Jane said, cloud security, I will go. I chose cloud engineer because I did love, let's see, chose cloud engineer because I would love to become a solution architect in the future. That's nice. Yeah, that's nice. Cloud engineering, you get to deploy cloud infrastructures for company. So, but for cloud engineering, you have to know Terraform. Not just Terraform, you have to know yeah, infrastructure as code, because cloud engineers, you do more of um deployment, you do more of launching. So your for cloud engineers, your boss or your manager can see what's your name? Faith possible, spin up 10 S3 buckets, AWS S3 buckets in region EC2 for me. Okay. You can't manually do that using your console. So you're going to use something called infrastructure as code. Okay. Something called infrastructure as code. So infrastructure as code, you're going to use that to spin those resources. So being a cloud engineer is also nice. As a cloud engineer, yes, you can decide to be a solution engineer later. Yeah. So times I see. Yes. So there's something also called, yes. There's called SRE is called sites relation something. Okay, they are called site relation something, but that is not the same as DevOps. DevOps is different. Their functions are different. So, but some company use them interchangeably. But when you go through the skills, you have to go through the skills. That is what matters. What skill, what tools are required? Okay. Yeah, that's okay. What Faith said in DevSecOps, it's adding a layer of security even developers push code on. I don't understand. In DevSecOps, it's adding a layer of security when developer pushes code on the pipeline. It's not just all about that. It's see, DevSecOps is you as the DevSecOps engineer securing your CI/CD pipeline. So now, what do you want to use in securing the pipeline is dependent on you, dependent on the organization. It's dependent on you, dependent on the organization. Now, you can decide to start securing this application from the developer's laptop itself, ensuring that each code, see, developers they can code hurriedly. And with the use of AI right now, AI will just generate code that it might not align, or just generate code that you understand. AI now is involved with almost everything. So DevSecOps is high in demand. So you can decide to um, use a tool or input a security layer right from when the developer pushes their code. So what this particular security layer from that developer's area, I've forgotten the name of one that I did, is in my GitHub. So what it does is it scans the developer's code first. It will not push it to your CI. Now, CI is the first stage. This is continuous integration. The second stage is the continuous deployment. Okay. So before it pushes to your CI pipeline, it's that first stage of security ensures that it states the security that you have that you want it to actually pass before it goes to the CI. So you can decide to say scan the code to ensure that it aligns with the standard of the code. Scan the code to ensure that no API is found in the code. No secret is found, company secret is found in the code. Know this, know that, know that. You state all of the things, the security measure you want it to scan. Now, when a developer pushes that code, your security layer, your security workflow scans that developer's code. If it finds, for instance, if it finds a security breach that you have listed in the policy, it's automatically stops that pipeline. It automatically stops that pipeline. But if it doesn't find any security breach that you have stated as the DevSecOps, it allows it to pass the CI. and now it goes to CD. So these are the things you're going to enforce. I have there's this project I did. I used AI. So I used GitHub GPT 4.0. So I implemented GPT 4.0 in that pipeline. And what it does is GPT 4.0 scans that CI/CD pipeline for security leak. Okay, that was the company's challenge. The company was saying that developers are pushing their APIs, and if API gets to leak, it's a problem. With API, anyone can access your platform. Okay, so now what that GPT-4 does for me, it scans the developer's code against all of the policy I have listed. If it finds any secrets, it immediately triggers. So I connected it to Slack, to the developers channel on Slack. So once it finds any security vulnerability, it triggers and sends the notification to their developers channel on Slack. And then also state and tell them this line of code have this issue, and this is the recommended fix. So these are the security measures you can apply as a DevSecOps. What is Ruth saying? Chai code. I told you to Ruth. Ruth, I told you to check properly. It's only one intake. You can't change. Ruth, what did you choose in the first place? Yes, infrastructure as code. Yeah, it's more of code scripting. Yes, that is what it is. Infrastructure as code is more of code scripting. That is what it is. Yes, you're right, digital coach. Yes, it's called site reliability engineers. Yes. Ruth, what do you want to change to? I told you. Yes. So Terraform. Yeah. So now, as if you want to be a DevOps engineer, these are the things you have to. These ones that Advocate just listed, you have to know them. So you have to know Terraform, Docker, Linux, CI/CD, GitHub, Prometheus, Grafana. Please, man, without feeling overwhelmed, how can I learn effectively, and at what point do I know or feel I'm ready? Okay. Ajoke, let me ask, are you a beginner, or what experience level do you have? Tell me. Ajoke, tell me, what experience level do you have? Is the boot camp you just learned, like this boot camp, your first time of hearing about cloud, or did you hear about cloud before now? Roots, you want is it that you want to change to cyber solution architect, or you chose solution architect before? Roots, I don't understand. Let me know. This would there. See, I will do cyber security, JJ. Roots, what you've chosen is what you've chosen. You guys cannot change. I told you choose wisely. Don't worry, leave them. They think cybersecurity is easy. And trust me, I'm going to give you very difficult cybersecurity tasks. I'm going to give you very difficult cybersecurity tasks. Cybersecurity is not easy. Do you know how many security layers you're going to put? It's not easy. See, to start with, none of this, I'm not saying any of this are easy. Okay. But if you don't have the passion for that, don't go for it. I'm telling you the truth. You see how I passionately teach you about clouds today? It's because I have the passion for it, especially AWS. I see, and I say it every day, every time. I am so glad I chose to be a solution architect. Really, I'm so glad I chose. I'm not just anyhow solution. I chose DevOps, AI, and data specialism. So that is my area of specialty. DevOps are things that I love it. I like, just wake me up and give me a DevOps task, I would do it. But if you put me in, let's say, migration, I see migration as very boring, and So because it's but some people I know of a colleague that is her specialty, migration. She does it with so much passion. It's because she enjoys it. And me, I'm doing mine with so much passion because I enjoy it. Please choose what you enjoy. Please. So, Ajoke, if you're a beginner, without feeling overwhelmed, take one step at a time. Okay. Now you've gotten the foundation of cloud, which is fine. Cloud is needed if you want to be a DevOps, it's DevSecOps, it's cybersecurity guidance or whatever it is, product manager, and all of that. You all have known the basics. Now the next thing is choosing the career path, which is what you're doing. So, Ajoke, without feeling overwhelmed about Prometheus is used to scrape um, like the logs, the traces of what is happening in the pipeline on your cloud. Grafana is used for visualization. Infrastructure as code, you have to use it as a DevSecOps because you have or a DevOps because you can spin up once in a while, but not always. That is not your duty, but this duty differs based on organization. What's it called? CI/CD pipeline, you have to know how to do that. YAM file, you have to know how to do that. But these are not difficult. See, let me tell you, becoming a DevOps engineer is not difficult. If you love it, becoming a solution architect is not difficult. If you love it, becoming a product manager is not difficult. If you love it, but if you don't love it, that is when you feel overwhelmed. That is when you feel overwhelmed. So please don't do something because Adaku is choosing this one. So you want to choose this one. Your passion and that of Adako, or your passion with that of Ajoke, or your passion with that of Merciful is different. It's different. Yeah, the passion is very important. It's different. Trust me, your passion is different. Adako might be choosing. Adako, what did you choose? Adako might be choosing cybersecurity because she loves anything security. And now maybe Ajoke says she wants to do devil because she loves it. But if Adako decide to say because Ajoke is choosing devil but she wants to do devil, she might end up being frustrated because she doesn't have the passion. Yeah, she's passionate about development and she might do well because that is her passion. And you know what passion does? Passion makes you want to learn more. But if you don't have a passion, you'll be overwhelmed with your tools and all of that. Before you know, you start feeling frustrated. Please. So, with this being said, thank you, everybody. Woods, what you've chosen, tell me what is your passion. Ruth, tell me what is your passion. Tell me which area is your passion. Please, I advise everyone, your passion is what matters. Your passion is what matters. Don't choose because A or B is choosing it. I know she chose cybersecurity. And she has been doing well. With her assessment, I know she's not a beginner from her assessment. So don't choose because she's choosing the same thing. Don't choose because Ajoke is saying she likes AI and DevOps. Don't choose because no, choose because that is what you want. Please, that is what you have passion for. Because this assessment I'm giving you is a production grade assessment. I'm not giving you go and build chat box. I'm giving you assessment that your boss will literally give you on a normal day. If you don't have passion for it, you go cry for me for Slack channel. I will not respond to you. Okay. So with this being said, thank you everyone. I'm going to see you all tomorrow. So if you know anyone that is haven't filled this, please tell them tomorrow is the last day. Okay, so they have to be in class tomorrow. And after tomorrow, no more grace for any other person. Okay, so with this being said, thank you everyone. Thank you all for today's class. And as always, I enjoyed the class with you guys and thank you all for also your efforts for learning. And that will be all for today. What is she saying again? I love data though. I love to build and design. If you love to build and design, please go for solution architect. It means you like seeing the bigger picture of a thing. Ruth, if you love to build and design, go for solution architect. Not just love to build and design, you can actually explain what you design with so much passion because you'll be explaining your design to engineers, to stakeholders, because they are going to ask you, Ruth, why did you choose Cognito? Why didn't you choose this? Why did you choose serverless? Why did you choose EC2? Why did you choose this? That is what makes you stand out. Okay? Please, if you love to build and design, please. This guy is something else. I swear to God Almighty. Ruth, Ruth, if you love to build and design, see, I'm even laughing and I'm crying. God, this Ruth is something else. Ruth, now you're the one that decided to give me headache in today's class, eh? Ruth, if you love to build and design, please just stick with solution architects. But if you know you still want to change, if you know you still want to change to something else, let me know in the Slack channel. But I would advise you, if you love to build and design and to explain things to people in a way, just the way I'm explaining to you guys to understand, this is how you're going to explain to stakeholders. Stakeholders, they don't know anything about, majority of them might not know anything about the solution you're explaining. So you have to break it down, just the way I'm explaining to you. That is how I literally explain on a board meeting. No jokes. During board meetings, this is literally how I explain. Break it down so that they see the value, the use cases, the importance of that solution. So if you know this is what you love doing, roots don't change. Don't change. Okay. So thank you, everyone. Yeah, thank you, everyone. Take care of yourself. See you all tomorrow. Bye. Ajoke, please leave her alone. She said you're the one that's after her life. Leave her alone. Ajoke, okay, leave her alone. Bye, everyone. Bye, everyone. Thank you so much.